Or set it on fire.
Now, there's certain species of flower that can still grow in fire, but not in
In
piss.
fire? Like while it's on
Yeah,
fire?
yeah,
Sure.
I've seen it.
Unbelievable.
I don't
Go
believe
on.
me either, but
Why you always lying? Why you always lying?
pick a different animal.
Why you always cheat? Why
We're
you
live.
always cheat?
We're live. Well, if we're live, I guess that means welcome back to Big Box Weekly, the show without an intro. This little avatar here that may or may not have a green ring around it is Greg. There's a Tim, there's a Kevin, there's a Sam,
That's
and
us.
here we are.
And
Yep.
why am I the only person with the webcam working today?
Well, I don't know what Kevin's problem is, but my
I don't
problem
know
is
either.
Microsoft. I did a terrible thing last night, and I decided to play some CS:GO, and everything's been going downhill ever since.
That's okay. That's fair enough.
And pretty much, because right after I got off of CS:GO, because of my 700 ping, which, hey, in all fairness, it's probably my 700 ping was probably because Microsoft was trying to secretly download an update in the background. I attempted. I was gonna play some Trackmania with Sam, but Windows decided it was going to force restart for an update. And then when I got on tonight, because I was busy today all during the day, I got on tonight to attempt to get on to doing stuff and wanted to test my camera out before we got into the call, and camera wouldn't work in Discord. So I went to OBS to try to use OBS. Camera wouldn't work in OBS. Unplugged it, plugged it into a different capture card, wouldn't work. Plugged in a USB webcam, wouldn't work.
All I'm hearing is excuses.
I mean, yeah, but I wish I knew how to get around them.
Buy a new computer.
Streaming monitor and send it to your own RTMP server that relays it all together.
Oh yeah, that seems to be working so well for you.
You do that.
You cut out while you were saying that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you cut out very much so, which is why I have no idea what you said. I heard something about relay to an RTMP server, and that was about it.
Nice.
So
welcome. Happy Sunday after Christmas.
Happy Boxing Day.
Is it Boxing Day?
It is Boxing Day.
Yep.
Why is it Boxing Day?
I don't know. Ask your
Because
fellow Canadian.
In the ye old days, it was the day the servants got off and their masters gave them all a box with the present in it.
That's not accurate.
I'm pretty sure it is. That's what someone told me.
Well, they were wrong.
The price is wrong, bitch.
Price is wrong, Bobby. So what is the reason then, Tim, since Kemet is so wrong?
Of Boxing Day?
Yeah.
All right, let's look it up here. Let's look it up together. Boxing Day is a holiday celebrated after Christmas Day, occurring on the second day of Christmas tide. Though it was originally as a holiday to give gifts to the poor, today Boxing Day is primarily known as a shopping holiday.
So just like all the holidays.
Right?
Buy me more jewelry.
Boxing
So
Day
it sounds
test?
like Boxing Day is just December's version of Black Friday.
Isn't it like really only celebrated in Canada?
That was my understanding. I could be wrong, though, but that was my understanding.
It's also a public bank holiday in the UK.
Interesting.
Boxing Day got its name when Queen Victoria was on the throne in the 1800s and has nothing to do with the sport of boxing or boxing peasants.
Well, that's misleading. That's very misleading.
Give me a holiday focused around boxing.
I think that would be much better. Kind of like that could be part of Festivus.
There we go. There we go. That could be part of the Festivus celebration.
It's also called St. Stephen's Day in Ireland.
What is Stephen the saint of?
I don't know. Quality footwear. No, that's St. Hubbins.
Quality, comfort, and price. That's nice.
Yeah.
Isn't that St. Bob?
No, that's Saint Bernie and Saint Phil.
Oh, fuck. You're right.
I know I'm right. That one I know I'm right on.
So
How was everyone's Christmas?
Could have been worse. There was no fires this
Hey.
year, so, uneventful.
I'm kind of with Sam.
I don't think I had any fires either.
Yeah, I
There should be
didn't do
more
anything.
fires. Fires are fun.
They can be. They are not fun simply by being a fire. They can be fun. But simply being a fire, I don't believe makes them fun. I have been and seen plenty of not fun fires.
Sounds like you aren't lighting enough things on fire.
I light my fair share of things on fire, sir.
More, Greg. More.
I mean, doesn't that get to a point where it's unhealthy?
Well, I mean, depends on what are you lighting on
Lighting
fire?
your own shit on big of a deal.
You know, small animals, children.
Well, see, now you had to go there. What did you guys
somewhere
get?
you crossed the line.
What did you get for Christmas?
Sam got burnt turkey.
No.
Not this year.
No. I stopped eating my mom's cooking a while ago. See, y'all are laughing, but I got food poisoning like 6, 7 times.
Really?
I'm laughing
Oh
even.
wow.
I laugh even more at that because after the third time, I would have said enough's enough.
Mom, are you trying to kill me?
Mom, we gotta have a talk here. Hold on. Hold the phone. I got a lot of projects for Christmas.
That's kind of good.
I got truck stuff for Christmas, so I have projects for Christmas.
And you got a one of the most important projects done, right?
Yes, all I got to do, I didn't have a chance to today. Tomorrow, I got to break out the sewing machine and shorten up that strap. So that'll be in the mail this week.
Sewing machine.
Yes, sewing machine.
You sew?
Oh, sure.
I can sew.
I don't know why you're so surprised. You seem to do anything in manufacturing like that. I'm not surprised.
Oh, not anything.
That I mean, like basic manufacturing like that.
My skills are growing by the day, but not anything.
Seems like whenever I ask you about making some random crap, you seem to know.
I have a limit. I am not capable of manufacturing computer mice. We have learned
Yeah,
that one.
yeah, we have.
Oh, that's
Black
right.
tar heroin.
Haven't tried that one. Can't confirm. I might be a prodigy. We'll never know.
Kemet, what did you get for Christmas?
A few days off work and to sit home alone.
I'm surprised you didn't zip back up the coastline.
I have been so exhausted. I didn't want to rush onto a plane and rush around and rush back.
Hey, Tim, you know what that's the sound of? That's the sound of someone who finally works.
Yeah.
Welcome to the eternal exhaustion, Kevin.
I've
get
been
any better.
eternally exhausted for the past 3 years, and it's not getting better. And I don't expect
It never does. It never does.
Ever.
till you die.
It's just levels
Then
of
you get the rest.
levels of tiredness.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like you can regain a little bit. You know, you can climb down the levels a few levels, but it never goes away.
Oh yeah, when I had 6 weeks off just hanging out here after I moved in, it was nice. I was only a little tired all day, not
6
dreadingly
weeks.
exhausted. Yeah, 6 weeks.
The most I've ever gone after moving was like 24 hours.
Yeah, it was. I had to get into the apartment by a certain day and didn't start work for another while. So,
I've gotten like 3 months off of work before because I just walked in one morning at 6 a.m. and told my boss, we're done here. And then I didn't get another job for 3 months. That was the summer of 2018.
Oh, the glorious summer that was. I remember it fondly.
It was. I did enjoy that.
That was,
It was-
season 3 of Big Box Weekly.
Yeah, huh? Those were the good old days of hashtag fuck Ed.
oh, that's right.
That's why I left that place.
The thumbstick guy.
Yes. Yes, the good old days.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I walked in there on a Monday morning at 5:30, and I was on my way back home by 6 o'clock without a job anymore.
That's great.
And then I got down to my last $100 or so and said, I should probably go do something.
So wait, I want to take me back to that last day. You go in at 5:30 in the morning with the
All right,
expectation.
so hold on, I gotta take you back to the weeks leading up to the last day to really set the stage here.
Okay.
All right, so we're about, I'm gonna say like 2 months before my breaking point. Sitting down in a meeting, we just finished up. So I worked at that point as a support engineer as well as I guess you could say like a automation engineer, like a controls engineer doing system design. So we wrapped up a meeting with a client and everything went good. Project's wrapped up basically. Cool. My bosses are talking to me about, did a good job on that, and they'd like to transition me more from the junior engineer and then support engineer role into like a full-time controls or automation engineer, whatever the hell you want to call it. I think it was a controls engineer title is what they gave me. So they wanted me to start, doing some more of that work and move me into that role, which would have represented at that time about $25,000 raise, which nothing to sneeze at. That's good money, especially back then with what I was making. $25,000 was, I don't know, about a 30 to 40% raise.
Still good money.
Yeah, exactly. Because I was like, okay, yeah, cool. So they start throwing more workload at me, which is fine, whatever, because I'm just basically at that point expecting, okay, they just got to do some paperwork to change my title. And because at that point, even though I was doing the other work, the support engineer role I was doing was a big contract that they had with another big company that didn't want to have their own in-house support engineer staff. So that contract was basically paying my salary.
Okay.
So I'm figuring, okay, it's going to be a little bit of time here while they sort out where the rest of this raise is going to come from and all that stuff. No big deal. So I start doing some of this work. And that starts the first 70-hour week. And then we're on to the second 70-hour week. And then we're on to the fifth 70-hour week.
I see a pattern.
And then during the sixth 70-hour week, I spent most of that time either in a women's prison or, and realistically, I call that a 70-hour week, but that was like 70 hours of time spent either at the client site, i.e. the prison, at my office, that's not really counting the time that, the evenings where I was in my office at the house on the phone with various people trying to sort out a issue. Because we created a screen system for the security pass for a prison.
Okay.
So I was doing some of the software work to get some RFID tag readers to integrate with the whole system, because they decided to buy the cheap ones because, naturally.
Right.
So the only way I could get it to work, because if I recall, I want to say the only driver that was provided by the company that manufactured these badge readers was an ActiveX driver, which even by 2018 standards, ActiveX was extremely low security and extremely out of date.
Mm-hmm.
So I was doing serial level communication stuff, bit reading and mapping, or actually just reading the raw data stream and translating it into something that was working. And I was doing that in Java, because back then Java is the language I was most comfortable with.
Okay.
Now I get the application working standalone beautifully. I can run it in just a little IDE or right out of command prompt all day, no problem. It's working great. Well, the illustrious Mr. Fuckhead doesn't give me the screen software that he's been working on to integrate the two together until we physically get on site in the prison.
That's bad timing.
It's fucking great. So I'm in this little freaking basically 6x8 concrete room, sitting, typing away, doing my thing with the software, trying to get it all to work. And it just ain't. And it's like a couple days of this shit. And finally it's like, okay, well, I guess that means, because I finally, after a while with the engineers that make the screen software, which was, oh Christ, it was made by Inductive Automation, but I can't think of what the hell they call it. And I've used it much more recently than this even. I can't think what it's called anymore. Oh, God, I wish I could remember what it's called. But anyways, their engineering team was very helpful. They actually really did try to get it to freaking work. But they were finally like, well, technically speaking, Java is not really our supported language. So, yes, you can use it, but we don't technically officially support it. So I relay this information, so Ed's like, all right, well, I guess you got to transition to JavaScript. Well, there's a problem with that, Ed. I don't do JavaScript. I've never done JavaScript in my life.
Well,
I guess you're gonna learn.
You gotta learn today.
So now we're at 7 straight 70-hour weeks on various projects. I've had various client meetings and factory acceptance testings, and now all this prison bullshit. And they sent me off to a site to totally redo their gas alarm system for a fiber optics manufacturing facility. That one I've got stories on its own. But anyways, so we get to Friday night of the week before I quit, and I've just had enough. I probably had a few breakdowns during that weekend, and this was before I went. This was before I ice fished, so I had nothing really to, set my head back on straight.
Greg's gonna snap.
And so that weekend I had several breakdowns, and I decided that enough was enough. So I went in. It was Monday morning. I went in. I got into work a little after 5:30.
Acting very sus.
No, I went into work very early back then, because you have to go into work pretty early when you work 70 hours a week.
Right. Right. Yeah, good point.
And I had flex scheduling. So even before that, I was going in for 5:30 or 6 in the morning. So I was bailing out by 2:30 in the afternoon.
Okay.
And then if I got calls in the afternoon, whatever, I'd deal with, support calls. But It was great to just be out of the office by 2. So I go in and I go, "Hey, boss man, we gotta talk. How's it go with getting me that raise?" Because I was doing all this for like freaking 44 grand. Which, like, I mean, that's not like zero money, but at the same time, that becomes very little money when you start doing 70 hours a week.
Right.
When your take-home paycheck after a 70-hour week was $562.83.
That's
just not enough.
No, that's a little low.
That's just not enough for engineering work, if you ask me. So he goes, "Well, we're working on that, but you know the budget just isn't there right now."
Wrong
Why'd
answer.
they give you the fucking raise?
And I said to him, "Okay, well then I'm really going to need to go back to my 40 hours and my responsibilities that I was hired for." Well, we're really struggling on some of these extra projects right now. We really need your help getting these done. And I just remember looking at him and going, "Well, you're running out of options here."
Yeah.
And I said, "There's only one more at this point, and that's I take the box of things that was at my home office, put them up on my desk upstairs, and I get in my car and I go after I leave my key on your desk here." And yeah, that was about the agreement that we were able to reach.
Wow. So
I left.
They didn't give a fuck about you.
Apparently not. I mean, let's be real. I'd only been there for like 3 or 4 months. I hadn't even been there that long.
They had no problem using the hell out of you, though.
Because I started there the week after Black Friday. Because Black Friday was my last week at the previous place. That was such a glorious thing to walk around on Black Friday and see everybody else panicking. And I just have a smile on my face. Because not only did because I worked overnights at that place. So I went in Wednesday night into Thursday night into Black Friday. So I was there for the very start of peak ordering. But yeah, so I only started there end of November, very beginning of December. We're only talking like March. So I was not there for very long. But yeah, so I walked out, and then 2 days later I get a call asking if they could contract me to just finish up one of these projects. That was super duper important because we had a customer that didn't want a PLC in this automated little setup. So I had to take advantage of the very, very basic scripting language that was available in the touchscreen itself. And I mean very basic. And make it do things that it was never designed to do. So they needed me to finish that one up because Mr. Ed, who was the reason we had the support contract with that company, even he couldn't sort out what the hell I had managed to make work.
Nice.
Because when I say I broke that shit, like, I was able to, like, I was able to generate action delays by calculating, like, processor cycle times and adding counters and doing counter resets to values to reset certain steps. Like, I got a call one day, like, after I was gone, after I had, like, finished it. I think this was while I was being contracted to finish it. They were like, "Hey, it's been sitting here over the weekend and it just doesn't work anymore." I was like, "What do you mean?" They're like, "Well, you know, I touch the buttons on the screen. It just doesn't do anything." And I said, "Okay, log into the engineering page. Okay, what is the number in the little display that says count reading? 9999999. Okay, you overflowed the integer buffer. Restart the machine."
That'll
Oh, hey,
be
it's working again.
that'll be $5,000, please.
And the best part was when they contracted me to do the work, they didn't have the budget to pay me more. If I took my hourly rate at a 40-hour week, not a 70-hour week, a 40-hour week, when they contracted me back in, they were paying me $9 an hour more to finish the job up. Whereas if they could have just given me the $9 an hour more, I wouldn't have walked.
Well, it wasn't in the budget, Greg.
But apparently it was when I made it fit in the budget.
Yeah. They learned a very valuable lesson. Don't fuck with
Apparently they didn't learn a valuable lesson, because the one person I stayed in touch with there who was an engineer, not like maybe 9 months later, he called me to let me know. He said, well, I no longer work there either. They let me go because they couldn't afford me.
Or so
So they did not learn their lesson.
You know, sometimes when a ship is sinking, you just gotta jump.
And I did. And so it was middle of April or so that I wrapped up the contract work, so I had no more income coming in. And I didn't start at the next place, which I was at for 3 years, which was a miracle back then.
Right? I remember.
Till middle of July. So I had quite a few months off there. I was on the 6-month rotation at that point.
I remember when you started that one, you didn't think you'd make it a year. Many times.
Technically speaking, I guess I didn't, because I did jump jobs within the company after 9 months.
That's different, though.
Because I went there to be electrical maintenance, and they put me, for some reason, as a floor supervisor.
Same thing, right?
Well, because they also wanted me to support a robotic manufacturing cell that was on nights.
So we found the reason.
Because they had nobody in maintenance that was actually capable of supporting it on nights. Don't get me wrong, there were some very talented people I worked with at nights, but none of them could handle the software side of all that shit.
So they wanted you to do 2 jobs for 1 pay.
Yeah, exactly. And the funny thing is, what I made as a floor supervisor, handling that equipment and doing like engineering work on it, when I went over to maintenance, I immediately got like $4 an hour more.
Nice.
I'm all right.
Yeah, well, yeah. So that about sums up that career progression.
I had a company I used to work for who fired me for semi-illegitimate reasons. They reached back out to me asking if I'd be willing to work for them again. And at this point, I had already moved states. I'd already moved states, but I was like, I'm not really like loving the job I'm working right now. So I was like, well, obviously, like, you guys need employees, so we can, like, negotiate me coming back. And they're like, all right, well, we'd like to take you back at your previous wage and previous hours worked. And I was like, well,
now you can piss off.
Well, yeah, well, you see, like, that didn't work out for me before, so I'm not really inclined to do those exactly
jump right back into that.
Here are my terms. I was grossly underpaid as a technician, so I was like, I wanted my salary doubled. And then I was like, there were some things that I can't go into at the moment.
Okay.
In addition to that, and I was like, oh, and I need to be full remote because I moved states. And they got back to me and they're like, oh, we'll think about it. And they still
That's the last he ever heard from them.
Yep, never heard back from them, but the people that I keep in contact there are like, yeah, no, they still haven't replaced you. And I was like, nice.
There you go. Yeah, the last time I did any sort of technician work, I was a network and enterprise storage technician making like $14 an hour.
Grossly underpaid.
The funny thing is that's one of the jobs I was probably happiest in. Aside from, I think, what I'm doing right now.
Still got those drives in your desk drawer with the firmware you can't use on them?
You're hyper focusing on that, damn it.
That's the first thing I thought of.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, we need
Alright,
we need the big box Minecraft server updated to 18.1.
Okay.
Back up the world. It might fuck everything up.
Shut up.
I back up
Okay,
the world
it's
every
getting-
single day.
That was aggressive, Tim.
It was a little bit, wasn't it?
Your fucking world.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, stupid statements get responded to appropriately.
It's not like I spent any time on that server at all.
Yeah, you've spent quite a few hours on that little skybase of yours there.
Just a couple.
1 or 2.
You've mined a lot of blocks.
Yes, I have.
I wish there was a way to go in and like read a counter for that.
I think I can do that under achievements, can I?
I have no idea, to be honest with you. I have not consistently played that game in about 4 or 5 major versions.
Weak.
In all fairness, though, I have not consistently played any game recently.
But you did play CS:GO.
Kind of.
Like the closest, I kind of played CS:GO. I didn't even play full competitive matches. I played the new short ones that I didn't know existed until we got on.
And he had better ping on an EU server.
Yes, I had like 40 ping in the first 2 matches when we were playing with Gubbins and Spoods on an EU server. Then I'm the lobby leader after they bailed, and I have 700 ping. Back to PowerPoint edition like 4 or 5 years ago. My shotgun abilities were not like 4 or 5 years ago, though.
How the hell did we spend 5.5 hours playing CS:GO 5 years ago?
I don't know, man.
I totally believe that happened. That definitely happened more than once.
5.5 hours of CS. Well, it was
That's
before.
a-
It was before
that's
it
a
went,
lot
got
of
toxic,
time.
though.
It must have been, but damn, that's all. Dude, I remember a time, and I don't know why, where I would play CS:GO solo queue.
Oh, I did that all the time.
Yeah.
I know,
Yeah.
but like, why? I look back on it and just why?
It was a different time period.
I remember like I'd get on and play in the morning.
Yep.
With morning peoples.
Yeah.
I remember, and the video is somewhere on my channel, this one kid who was really, really wanting to wrap up the match quickly so he could get to school on time to take a math test.
Why would he be
Get into a comp match right before having to go to school? Yeah, good question. Didn't get an answer.
Well,
to
you
that
wouldn't do it now.
No, I strongly believe there's people out there who actively play CS:GO while in remote school.
one.
Oh,
Oh, absolutely. Well, but this is like 5 years ago, so it wasn't remote school, Sam.
I mean, yeah.
It was like, I gotta get my bus.
Oh, it's a squeaker?
Like, probably high school. No, probably like middle high school age. Not quite a squeaker. At least has hit puberty.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. The video exists somewhere. But yeah, no, we used to play a lot of that game. I don't know how, though. Honestly, I trying to play that the other day. I don't know how. And the other day, too, man, we were just playing with friends. We didn't even have queuers. Like, we didn't have any of the random dickheads, and I still don't know how we used to play that game all the damn time.
Right?
Used to play it every day.
Multiple times a day. I remember we used to sit down and play like 2 or 3 comp matches early in the day, and then later in the evening we'd be back on again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Ah, man. I miss having that much free time.
Shit.
Can I go back to that? Like, I'll do something more productive with it, please. Just give me that free time again.
No, you don't deserve free time. You're not working hard enough.
I am. That's why I don't have free time. But like the only game recently I can look at and go, yeah, I put time into that game with some consistency was when we had our little NBA kick there. But even that, like, I wasn't playing that a lot. I was only playing that like 2-3 days a week, and it was just my weekend days. But, like, other than that, I can't think of any game that I've consistently played recently. That reminds me, I went to log in the other day. I went to log into RuneScape. I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna do whatever the Christmas quest is." I was like down vaguely near the Wizard's Tower. By the time I walked up to the castle, I went, "Shit, I don't have time for this."
Yeah, this year's Christmas event was advent calendars, so like it wasn't really worth your time anyways, unless you were playing every day. And yes, I have been
That's
playing
good to know.
RuneScape.
I want to play it again. Like, I feel like that's an easy one too. Now that it's on mobile again, you know, it has been for a few years. Like, I can play it in downtime at work, but
That's what I do. I'm making more money than I ever have, and I have more downtime at work than I've ever had. It's wonderful.
I gotta be honest, man. That seems to be the trend that I've discovered. Like, every time I get more money, I seem to have fewer actual responsibilities. But there seems, so what I've found, obviously it's a little different for you, Tim, being in like a direct service industry.
Right.
I would call your industry direct service.
I would agree with that.
But when you're not in like direct, granted, technically, I guess you could say I'm in a service industry, but I wouldn't call it a direct service industry. I would call it an indirect service industry. It seems though with indirect service industries, the lower on the pay scale you are, you're getting paid for what you do. Whereas as you start climbing the pay scale, you're getting paid for what you know.
Right.
Like, I had a buddy, actually, Sam also knows this guy. You remember one Mr. Marcus, right? Yes.
Yeah. I'm glad you knew what I was talking about.
Yes,
I wasn't sure
he
if we
worked
wanted
with
to
us
disclose
there
this. Yeah.
2 days. He worked with us there 2 days a week. But his other job, he was working at, it was one of the aerospace companies or military contractor or something
exactly
like
what
that.
you're talking about. Yes.
I don't remember exactly where it was, but like he was telling us one time that he left his previous place and moved over to this other aerospace or military contractor. I can't remember exactly what it was, because it was all old guys that spent most of the day playing cards, because when stuff was running, they had nothing to do. But when stuff was broken, it needed to be fixed yesterday.
Ah, yes.
So, you know, they were all paid for their knowledge and what they were capable of doing, not that they had to exercise it very often.
Yep.
So, like, I firmly believe as you climb the pay ranks with like indirect service stuff like that, it's more paid for what you know than what you do. It's no longer about grunting and groaning and being busy all the damn time.
100%.
That's my philosophy anyway. It seems to be tracking for me. But I just need to start using some of that free time for, you know, important stuff like RuneScape questing.
Yeah, exactly. You've got to be able to buy your own bonds with in-game currency, so you don't have to do it with, you know, real.
I can't imagine putting that much freaking time into the game.
It's not that bad once you get to high enough level, but you need to be pretty high in level and have a couple hours a day.
Yeah, I was gonna say, to be fair though, if I'm being honest, like my general like I need some money quick to buy X in the game is I buy like a whole bunch of flax and make bowstrings. So I'm not exactly the most efficient on the money making.
That is one of the more efficient ways to do it.
No, I know, but there's got to be something better than just running up down the stairs at Bridge Castle.
Oh, they made well. That depends on what version of RuneScape you're playing. Because if you're playing RS3, you can just do that all in one spot without having to travel very far at all.
I'm talking about old school. I don't play RS3. Not that like I have a problem with it. I just don't play RS3.
Your loss.
Probably. I play old school though. That's the game. That's the game I grew up on.
Money in. It's basically the same game. It really is basically the same game now. It's not different like at all.
Except for Evolution of Combat.
No, because you can turn that to Legacy mode, so it's the same as old school.
Really?
It's completely optional. Yep.
Is there a RS3 mobile app though?
I believe so.
Oh, okay. Because last I was regularly playing that, they did not have the RS3 mobile app yet. It was just the old school.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it says it is for Android and iOS.
Oh, okay. Well, there we go. I have something to aspire to work on.
It's important.
Yeah, it is.
Got yourself a New Year's resolution. Play more RuneScape.
Yeah, I think the more apt resolution is relax a little bit more, at least a little bit.
Relaxing's for the weak. If you don't have anxiety about something 24/7, are you really living?
No, I've never suffered from anxiety. It's more stress.
So no, you've never really lived.
I'm really good with the whole stress thing. The lovely sound of dead air.
I was looking. I went to stream this morning, and something caught my eye. It gave me like a air quality index, and it said that I could open up and do a globe view of it. So I opened it up and I was rotating around the globe, and for some reason the air quality in Chad in Africa is awful, as well as Poland.
I know. But is the air quality worse than China's air quality?
Depends on where you're at in China.
True. Okay. Yeah. Well.
India.
The industrial centers.
India, the whole damn country is just in like red.
Yeah, just don't breathe in India.
Right?
That's the secret. Go to India, stop breathing.
Look for
Wear a respirator.
Bob's and Vagine.
Wear a respirator. All respirator all the time.
Just don't go there. Buy the new Razer Zephyr.
What's the Razer Zephyr?
Oh.
That's their mask thing. That looks like a painter's mask.
With RGB.
Yes.
Really?
And a clear spot so that you can see the mouth, which is odd.
That's quite odd. I don't know if I like that.
Yeah.
Project Hazel.
Have you gotten your hands on one yet, Mr. Tim?
No, because it sells out right away, and they
denied your early access beta tester.
Correct. So they've dropped it like 7 times, but they do it at times that I'm like either with a client or I'm in bed. So
$150 for a mask?
Is that how much it
Wait,
is?
can't you just pause a session for a few minutes?
Excuse me, sir. We're
Give me a
just
sec.
getting
I
to the
gotta
root
buy
of
it.
your problems, but I gotta buy some overpriced razor garbage.
Right.
Just ask them if they want one too, you know? Could be a collaborative thing.
No, because I don't want to pay for theirs.
There was
Yeah.
no mention of you buying it for them.
Their insurance will cover it.
Maybe. After resubmitting the claim like 5 times.
Well, probably. That's just the nature of insurance companies.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it is.
Actually, though, speaking of Razer and speaking of gaming, I got Amanda a ROG laptop for Christmas.
What's that?
I think you're missing a letter in the word frog.
No, I'm missing a lot of letters in what used to be Asus that is now, I guess, its own brand.
Oh.
Republic of
Is it
Gamers
not
was an
by Asus
Asus
then?
brand. I think I think ROG was actually spun into its own brand because there's no Asus branding anywhere on this laptop. It's all ROG.
That's interesting.
So I actually think ROG is its own thing now.
Open it up. Take a look at the innards.
Well, that's gonna say like Intel and shit. Maybe AMD.
I just
Greg.
It's AMD. It's an R9 system. It's a 8-core R9 with a 3060.
Who the hell were you?
Were you talking to your cat or something?
right
Yeah, that motherfucker came out of
from
the
out of
weirdest
nowhere.
spot. Yeah.
Cat out of nowhere.
So my UPS, my computer against the wall, and that motherfucker just came out from behind. Okay.
And that's how you derail a train of thought.
What were y'all talking about?
What were you
Tell
talking
me you have
about?
ADHD without saying you have ADHD.
I'm just wondering where the fuck that cat came from.
Its
Hi.
mother.
Oh my god. Yes, they came from the county animal shelter in Florida.
Oh, well, then what the hell is it doing all the way up there?
That's a good question.
Oh, he stole
Cat's
it.
confused, Kevin. That's why it's hiding. It's confused.
Where's
They're a
the
hell
beach?
of a lot happier they are here than they ever were in Florida.
It
Just
says,
saying.
"This is not my home." What did you do with my home?
Where are all the crackheads?
Stopped paying the overpriced rent for it.
Is your rent really that much less now, though?
Oh yeah, this place is a lot bigger, has a garage, and is half the rent. It was
Yeah,
ridiculous
okay.
in Florida. Yeah,
I'm paying too much.
I was paying almost $2,000 a month by the end of it. It was $1,800 something dollars.
Jesus, that's more
So
than my
are you
mortgage.
are you renting like I forget what you settled into? You're not in like a big apartment building, right? You're in like a townhouse that you're renting, right?
Yes, it's a townhouse.
Okay.
So I have my own address, I have my own street access, I have my own garage, and it's just I think 10 of them in one line, in one building.
Okay, so in other words, when I come down to visit you, there's a place for me to securely park my boat.
No. There's a boat ramp down by the water. There might be a
That's
spot to
not
park it
a
there.
place to securely park it. I'm saying
But
your
no,
garage,
I'm on a-
sir.
My fucking garage, my tiny one-car garage that my car sits in.
Yeah,
Where's my car go?
in the driveway.
On the
Okay, where's your
road,
truck go?
silly.
Also in the driveway next to your car.
Driveway ain't that big, bud.
Or in front of your car. I don't know. Or on your grass.
I don't have grass. It's a very tight block.
Sam can hook you up.
No, that kind of. Well, I mean, like I know the guy who does like landscaping, but like I don't think
He
think
travels
that's
that
what
far.
means here. Also,
They
like
don't make
it's
house
legal here, so you could just buy it and bring it to him. That might not be legal. I'm not sure where Kenna lives now, so crossing state lines isn't.
We're not giving legal advice.
Yeah, no.
Do not interpret anything we say or do as legal advice. We are not
Well, if we're not
lawyers.
giving legal advice,
Or
then
advice
we
in
can just
general.
demolish the house next door to Kemet's and use that as a driveway.
Yeah.
Ah.
There's one right down the street that's for sale. You can buy that. Make that your personal boat storage
Whoa,
for when
whoa,
you
whoa.
decide
Who
to
said
come out
anything
here.
about buying?
How many
We're
deer?
talking about
My
like
bad.
we're talking about like imminent domain.
Just
Taking
walk in the
that
front
shit.
door. Yeah, this is mine now.
No.
Kinda like
What
the
it is
loan, we're
is
just gonna stick a flag there, say this is ours now, and then destroy it. I guess that's kind of like coming to America.
I just pee on
It
things.
really
No.
is.
what you gotta do, Kemet, is just when you cut your grass, you just cut a stripe over into the neighbor's lawn, and you do that for long enough, and you just acquire that part of the yard.
Yeah, the fucking grass don't need cutting. It's basically fucking dead.
Well, in December, yeah.
I saw it. When did I first see this place? August? There wasn't much grass.
Oh, in the heat of the summer, yes. Grass is great in the heat of the summer all the time.
You have to think long
You
term, Kemet.
gotta fertilize that
You know,
shit.
this would be the perfect time
It's my fucking problem. I'm
to
touching it.
to seed it, and you seed just a little bit more over from your property line. That way, it looks like all the good-looking grass is your property.
Yeah, come on, man.
Perfect time.
You gotta understand the pride that comes with caring for a lawn.
He's not that old yet.
You know, in my lease it says it's their problem, so I'm not spending my fucking money on it.
That's fair.
Well, tell them to buy the materials, and you'll happily do the work.
For free?
Fuck no, I'll build them.
I didn't say for free. I just said you'll do the work.
Doesn't Kemet do stuff for free?
Because Kemet's so good at billing people.
Nice.
Have you gotten a paycheck yet, Kemet?
Yes, I have. Fuck you.
This is our weekly update to see if you've gotten paid yet.
Right. We do this
I
because
have,
we care, Kemet.
Yes,
I
we,
have-
we hate to see you getting taken advantage of. And Tim and I apparently are much more bold than you.
Because I had to wait a pay cycle before I got paid, because that's how they do it since I'm hourly.
Because you went in mid-cycle.
They did it stupid because they hired you mid-cycle.
I didn't fucking know that I was mid-cycle.
Even though they clearly had 8 or so weeks to figure out when to start you, they put you mid-cycle.
Yes, that is kind of up to them, because I was supposed to start in October, and then I was like, hey, push it back. And they were like, okay, how about this random fucking date in December?
It's a Wednesday. Can you start that?
They did that. They started someone a week after me on a fucking Wednesday.
It's an odd
Nah,
company.
that's dumb.
I mean, I started on a Wednesday.
That's
the day
dumb.
before the pay cycle ended?
Wednesday
I get
the
paid
10th.
weekly, so yes.
Can you start on February 30th, please?
Absolutely. June-tember 19th.
September 19th.
I'll give you $120,000 a year salary, but you got to start on February 30th. I schedule all of my meetings for February 30th.
Don't even have to pass a drug exam.
Can we have this meeting
I'd be really
rescheduled
good
for
at
December
drug exam. I
32nd?
know all the drugs.
They are all in my system right now.
What'd you say, Greg? You got...
I said they're all in my system right now.
Right meow.
Oh.
I have all of them.
Every
That
single
reminds
one.
me. I saw this YouTube short. This guy was going in to get his vaccine. He was getting the Moderna vaccine, or one of the 2-part vaccines. So the doctor says to him, he goes, "All right, you can come back in on X date for your second dose." And he says, "I don't need it." Doctor's like, what do you mean? He says, well, I've gotten all 5 now. He just starts throwing the doctors around.
I know exactly what you're talking about. It's a good video. I don't remember who the creator was.
Tyler.
I just remember it was. Yeah, that sounds about right. It might have been Tyler.
It might have been a Tyler.
Tyler, the creator.
I'm going to be honest. It's actually sounding correct.
It was not Tyler, the creator. I follow him on all of his socials. What?
Isn't Tyler the... Never mind.
Tyler, the creator, is a rapper.
No, this guy was certainly not a rapper.
I thought he was the creator.
Of rap.
He is a creator, but he was not a rapper. He was not wrapped around lunch meats. That joke was just for myself.
Hope you enjoyed it. On that note, if Greg can update the Big Box Minecraft server, I will do a little stream from that after we get done here. Is that possible or no?
I can grab my laptop and hit buttons.
Ooh.
I can't promise that the buttons will do anything.
Right.
But I can hit them.
Button mash, and I'll let you know. Jesus Christ. So we are coming up on the end of the show. We've passed the 55-minute mark. And
wow.
Yeah, we're 57 minutes actually.
Holy shit.
Giving us an extra 10 seconds, I see. We're only at 56,
I'm
55
to
now.
leave right now, but then not mess up the formatting.
No, only if me or Greg left, it would mess up the formatting.
No,
oh, I guess
he would absolutely
mess
up the formatting.
That
No,
would
I'm
absolutely
thinking,
mess
yeah.
up the formatting.
All right, so let's all leave
Tim would
going back and see what
murder
happens.
him.
Any parting words of wisdom?
Let it
Don't be
be.
silly, wrap your willy.
Fuck Ed.
All three. Excellent.
Fuck
All three excellent. Let's go with that. I hope to see you over on my Twitch here for some Minecraft. And next week, Big Box Weekly.
Yeah.
Next year. Haha. Get it?
Yeah.
We'll see you next year. Yeah.
We'll see you in a month.
Talk to you guys later.
Yeah. Later.
Adios.
Bye.